Hey guys, Miss Body here. I am preparing a video for you, probably in two parts, to go over the problems that Khan Academy does for your virtual learning assignments. This is for virtual learning assignment 1, identify quadratic patterns. This is meant to supplement those problems. Okay, in the video he does 4 problems. I plan to do 2 in this video and then 2 in the next video. Okay, so if you remember from the last video, we looked at these 3 identities. Okay, hopefully you remember that. All right, the first one is u plus v squared. The second one is u minus v squared. And the third one is u plus v times u minus v. The goal is to find out which form we can use for the problems provided. Okay, so for the first problem he does is 9x to the 8th plus 6x to the 4th times y plus y squared. I want to set this equal to one of those factored forms, but I'm not sure which one. So let's take a look again, okay? All right, our quadratic identities. All right, so if you look at the right-hand side, u squared plus 2uv plus v squared, u squared minus 2uv plus v squared, and u squared minus v squared. Which one of those looks like it could possibly match this? Now, I know all the variables are different. I understand that. But just pay attention to the format for the terms. All right. We have 3 terms, right? For number 1 and 2, we have 3 terms. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. The third one only has 2 terms. 1, 2. Okay. That's the first thing. All right. So I can eliminate 3 right away because it only has 2 terms. All right, so now let's look at 1 and 2. All right, this one has 3 positive terms. This one has 2 positive terms and a negative term in the middle. Now look at ours. We have 3 positive terms. So guess which one I'm going to use between 1 and 2? I'm going to use number 1. Okay, so I'm going to set my problem, all of this, equal to this. Okay, u squared plus 2uv plus v squared. Okay, that's the first step. Okay. All right, now that I have that, I'm going to do three separate steps. Okay. First, I'm going to solve for u. And what do I mean by this? Because I have 3 terms on the left-hand side of the equation and 3 terms on the right-hand side of the equation, I'm going to set the first term, 9x to the 8th, equal to the first term on this side, u squared. So we have 9x to the 8th equals u squared. Okay, and I'm going to solve for u. All right. All right, so how do I do it? Well, I want to solve for u and I see that it's squared. So the first thing I should try to do is take a square root to undo the square. Okay, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And if you looked at the first video, this should look very familiar, okay? So I have a separate whiteboard I'm going to use to show my scratch work on. All right, so we have, let's do the left-hand side first, LHS for left-hand side, okay? So you see we have the square root of 9x to the 8th power, okay? That's the left-hand side. All right, so if you remember from the last video first, we found the prime factorization for the number, which is 9. In our case, we can do 3 times 3. Okay. All right, so when I expand this out, I'll have 3 times 3. For x to the 8th, that means 8 x's multiplied together. 2, 3. Okay. All right, now, that imaginary index is 2. So that means I need groups of 2. 1, 2. Okay. For this group, I can bring down 1, 3. For this group, I can bring down 1x. For this group, I can bring down 1x. For this group, I can bring down 1x. And for the last group, I can bring down 1x. It's one number or variable per group. Okay. And when I multiply these back together, I will get 3 times x to the 4th power. 3 times x to the 4th power because I have 4 x's multiplied. All right, so that's the left-hand side, okay? That's the left-hand side. So once again, he assumes you know this when you're watching the video, that when you take the square root of 9x to the 8th power, you're going to get 3x to the 4th, which is what we just found. So 3x to the 4th goes here, okay? All right, now for the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have the square root of u squared. So for our right-hand side, we have the square root of u squared, okay? All right, and that's what we're going to work on now. All right, so the square root of u squared means the square root of u times u, because if you square something, you multiply it by itself, okay? Because I have 2 and my imaginary index is 2, I can group them in 2s and 1 u will come out, okay? So the square root of u squared is just u, okay? We're going to put that back on our right-hand side. So here we have u. So we just found our answer. Remember, the goal was to solve for u, and I just got u by itself. So, all right, we've got u taken care of. All right, we're going to do this again, okay? Once again, term by term. So remember, our second term is 6x to the 4th times y on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, our second term is 2 times uv. So I'm setting these two equal to each other. So I had 6x to the 4th times y, and I'm setting that equal to 2 times uv, okay? Now, the goal is to solve for v, all right? But I have that u in a way. But that's not much of a problem because we already saw that u equals 3x to the 4th. So that's why I have this little note here. Substitute. Sub is short for substitute. Substitute u and then solve for v, okay? So we said that u equals 3x to the 4th. So I'm going to replace this u with 3x to the 4th, okay? All right, so it looks like this. This side stays the same. I'm not changing this. So 6x to the 4th times y equals 2. We're not going to write u. Remember, u equals 3x to the 4th. So 3x to the 4th times v, okay? Now, I don't know what v is yet, but I will as soon as I solve this. All right, so what do we know? Okay, we know this won't change. 6x to the 4th stays the same. Y. 2 times 3x to the 4th would be 6x to the 4th. Just multiply 2 times 3 to get 6. X to the 4th will still be there. And then v will still be there, okay? All right, but I want v. So how do I get v? Now I can divide both sides by 6x to the 4th. So I'm dividing both sides by 6x to the 4th. Not because of this one, but because of this one, because I want the v. Okay, so guess what happens? 6x to the 4th cancels out on both sides. So what do I have left? I have y equals v, okay? So I have y equals v. All right, so third part, okay, third part. The third part is verifying that v will be the same, okay? So I'm gonna use the third terms though. So you see here, my third term is y squared. Here, my third term is v squared. So I'm gonna set those equal to each other. Y squared equals v squared, okay? So I wanna see what v is. So I need to take the square root of both sides. So I'll take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. All right, so what does that mean? We need to expand it, of course. All right, so what does y squared mean? Y squared means y times y. V squared means v times v. Okay, I have 2 of each, so of course I can group these and take 1 out. So I end up taking y out. I end up taking v out. So what did I get? I got y equals v. Now compare that to this one, y equals v. They match, okay? They match. All right, because this is the case, we got a nice term for U. We have a nice term for V, and these two match. That means that this is the correct form. So we can rewrite this in this form. Okay, so it has this form, U squared plus 2UV plus V squared. So U squared plus 2UV plus V squared. Okay. And because I spent so much time on this video, I'm just going to make a separate video for the next problem. Okay.